Alright, welcome back to a new video, and it is officially 1 week away until the mega fight on Showtime pay-per-view between David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. You know, a lot of people say this is a 50-50 fight, or some people might say, oh no, Benavidez is absolutely going to destroy Plant, or Plant's going to knock out Benavidez. Well, let's get something out of the way first. Plant's not going to knock out Benavidez, alright? I don't know where people got that from, but anyways, also there'll be another undercard fight that I'm a little interested in, and that is, of course, the Chris Colbert versus Jose Valenzuela fight. Both fighters coming off of a loss, and that's about the only other fight I'm really interested in. I mean, the other ones are cool. But like, not so much. Anyways, David Benavidez is the knockout artist with a record of 26-0, 23 knockouts. People will say, oh, this is very impressive. While other people say, not very impressive because he's a weight bully, right? He is 6'2". Don't know how that, so whatever, right? It doesn't matter. But he is, of course, going up against Caleb Plant, which is 22-1 with 13 knockouts, where his one loss, of course, came via Canelo, 11th round stoppage. And, of course, looking at their last win, Benavidez beat and TKO'd, well, let's just say KO'd David Lemieux, and Caleb Plant with the very surprising one-shot knockout of Anthony Durrell. Very surprising. People were watching it. No, everyone's all like, there's no way he knocked him out. And he did. Well, anyways, how I think this fight's going to go out? I think Plant's going to win. I think it is a 50-50 fight because if Benavidez comes in with the right game plan, he could 100% knock out Plant. But at the same time, people are kind of, I don't know, overhyping Benavidez a little bit too much because they're all like, oh, but like what Oscar de la Hoya, I think, was like, oh, Canelo knocked him out on 11 rounds. So can you believe but David Benavidez will do? And yeah, I can believe what David Benavidez is going to do. He's not going to knock him out. He took Canelo Alvarez, the 4-division world champion, and he became undisputed in that fight. Took him 11 rounds to TKO him. 11. Benavidez is not even half the tactician Canelo is. The only thing he got is probably most likely more power and more speed. Doesn't matter when Plant can move around the ring and not let Benavidez land anything significant. I mean, look at his last fight with Lemieux. Lemieux wasn't really a mover. He was just there. And then again, he got absolutely mauled in that fight. People say that's a good win. Well, then again, David Lemieux kind of already on the down low. 4 losses, obviously. And he already lost to Billy Joe Saunders via unanimous decision. And he got TKO'd by Triple G. So, not really. So, he not only did he move up in weight, but you could tell he was not an elite fighter. You know what I'm saying? Well, then again, you could say the same thing about Anthony Durrell. But I think Durrell is a better fighter than Lemieux. Even though what Benavidez would say, oh, you knocked out Durrell, but I did that at a younger age. And yes, and yes, that is 100% right. He did KO Anthony Durrell when he was younger. It was actually 3 years. It's been 3 years since he did knock out Anthony Durrell. Almost exactly 3 years since when Caleb Plant KO'd him. But it's kind of expected, though. Benavidez is the power puncher. Yeah, David Benavidez is the power puncher, so him knocking out Durrell would be expected, but not Plant. And yes, you could say, well, Durrell's a lot older when he fought Plant, and you're 100% correct, but Durrell wasn't a young buck when he fought Benavidez either. He was still old. Not to mention, Durrell's still knocking out his fair share of people, right? And Plant knocking him out in the same round that Benavidez stopped Durrell is kind of telling you he's on your level, if not better. He may have not had power, but he found a way to knock him out with a punch. So, here's the thing. Benavidez can 100% win. He's younger, but then again, Plant isn't old himself. He's only, 30, or maybe 31 when the fight happens. But he's not that old himself. It's not like he's past his prime. The only thing Benavidez has going for him is more power and faster hands. But he lacks movement and fight IQ. You cannot compare Benavidez to Canelo. Unless Benavidez is power is so strong that it could just break someone's guard like that, it's not going to work. Not to mention, even before that, Benavidez was dropped in the 12th round against some nobody, right? Everyone knows that. Everyone brings it up when they talk about Benavidez and Plant. And then people say, but Benavidez was winning the fight, so why does it matter? It matters because you were winning the fight, and you still got dropped by a jab. It wasn't, or maybe it wasn't even a jab, but it wasn't that powerful of a punch. You got caught doing something dumb. He wasn't hurt, obviously. He still won the fight, but it doesn't change the fact that he could go down at any point in the match. And I think if it's correct, the dude he fought that knocked him down in the last round never went to the last round ever. This was his first time making it to that round, and he still dropped Benavidez, even though Benavidez was dominating. You don't get dropped by someone you were dominating, okay? This is not how it works. Plant has speed too. He's not slow. It's just no power, but he has power to knock people out. We literally saw it with Durrell, and he definitely has power to knock down Benavidez. So how do I think it's going to go? I think Plant is going to win unanimous decisions. I think it's going to be 8-4. I really, truly believe that. And I think Plant is actually going to knock him down in one of the rounds. I say around 9-10. I say 9-10. Those rounds, he'll drop him. But if Benavidez goes to the body and manages to cut off the ring well, because I don't think he knows how to cut the ring well, other than just throw a power punch and hope they go backwards. So yeah, I got Plant winning unanimous decision. I don't know why people are saying he's going to knock him out. No, he's not going to knock him out. There's no point in planting his feet and attempting to generate power, because that's how you get knocked out by Benavidez. But Benavidez is very young. You can 100% come back from this. But one thing is, another reason why people choose Benavidez is that Canelo chose Benavidez. But then again, you also hear Canelo's reasoning being, oh, well, he's Mexican. He's faster and all that stuff. But I don't know if he's saying that truly because he believes that Benavidez is going to absolutely destroy Plant, or because it's easier and more in a bigger fight to promote Canelo versus Benavidez than Canelo versus Plant 2. You know, most people do not want to watch Canelo versus Plant 2 because, well, we already watched the fight. But if Benavidez were to TKO Plant, then we'll be like, oh, wow, look how good he is. He has a humongous chance against Canelo. So I just think people are just choosing him because it's a lot bigger fight than, well, obviously the rematch of someone you TKO'd. Benavidez does have a chance. I got this. I actually got it. I got it 55-45. It's really close. Because Plant has to be on the move all 12 rounds and cannot slip up. Because that's who he is. He has no power. He really does not threaten Benavidez in terms of TKO that much. While Benavidez constantly will threaten Caleb Plant with the knockout throughout all the rounds. So Plant has to be on his toes and never plant his feet. See, I got jokes. But yeah, 55-45 Plant. Hope Plant's probably going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Benavidez wins. Anyways, to the not co-main event, the co-main event, Chris Colbert versus Jose Valenzuela. Of course, I should have started that. The co-main event, of course, is next, being Chris Colbert and Jose Valenzuela, both coming off of a loss. Valenzuela coming off of a TKO loss, and Colbert coming off of let's just say, a complete beatdown. Colbert obviously lost to Hector Garcia, and taking away his one title opportunity he had. That's got to be said. He even got shut down because Garcia posted or something, and Chris and Colbert was all like, "Hey, yo, man, let's run it back." And he says, "Oh yeah, talk to my team, and you should try to talk to yours or have some fights to build yourself up again." And he's like, "Damn!" He ain't even trying to be disrespectful, but it was disrespectful. And Jose Valenzuela obviously lost to Edwin De Los Santos, and he was outboxed and outmuscled. Yeah, Valenzuela did somewhat hurt De Los Santos, but didn't do anything. He still got dropped in the same round, so, So, who do I think is going to win? It's a little less technical because Colbert lost to a technical guy with pop in Garcia, and Valenzuela lost to a power puncher, southpaw, in De Los Santos. He's a good boxer too, but I think one relies more on power and the other one relies more on technicality. So who do I think is going to win? I think either one can win because Colbert's moving up. He's moving up from super featherweight to lightweight. So Valenzuela can easily take advantage of that. But Valenzuela could also react badly with punches again and become cautious for no reason. Because Colbert, although he was, dominated against by Garcia, it really wasn't like a scary encounter like Valenzuela was with De Los Santos. Because when you see the beatdown between Valenzuela and De Los Santos, every time De Los Santos landed or every other punch he landed, it hurt Valenzuela like a lot. And I think Valenzuela is going to react worse to the punches landing from Chris Colbert than Colbert's going to react from Valenzuela. So I got Chris Colbert. But it's a 50-50 fight, though. It's a 50-50 fight, but I think I got Colbert in this one. I think he's going to win. Doesn't really matter because none of these people are even going to come close to the champions of this division. So basically fighting for who wins the WBC interim title. But anyways, that is the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. And of course, a very massive fight. Unfortunately, I will not be able to put in-person commentary at the fight because I did not win the sweepstakes. I don't think anyone did. But, of course, next video will be, I think, Ramirez versus Comey. And after that will be one of the April bouts between Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Stanionis and/or Tank versus Ryan. Very interesting fights happening in April, the mega fights. But like I said, that is the end of the video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.